Hello and welcome, it's Leon Street here from businessownerelevation.com. So today we have something that I know many of you have been asking about. It is the Business Owner Elevation Book Club. What do I mean? Well, what I mean is that every week, every episode, we will be reviewing a book. Yeah, I know many of you are great readers. Some of you actually are probably more listeners, so you probably got audiobooks. But what we're going to do is break down the key books that have influenced myself and influenced my clients. And they play a major role in helping you guys to take your coaching business to the next level, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales, mindset, or just a general off-the-topic book that has a great impact on the lives of my clients or myself. And at Business Owner Elevation, we're all about bringing value to you. So what I want to do is kick this off, and we've got one amazing book that I want to take you through today. And I've started with this one because it's got an interesting story, and it involves the author writing the book whilst being in prison. Would you believe it? So it's a really famous book in the marketing circles, or I'd say the marketing underground circles, but the guy who wrote the book is an amazing legend in the copywriting world. And I do say legend because he passed away some years back and he's no longer with us, but the guy was an absolute genius. And the person I'm speaking about is Mr. Gary C. Halbert, and the book is The Boron Letters. And to you and me guys, it's just called the Boron Letters, but the actual name Boron comes from a prison institution name, the Boron Facility. And there is a story as to how Gary Halbert ended up in the facility, because you're probably thinking, why would I be promoting a book from somebody who's classed as a criminal? Well, this guy, he is so synonymous in the copywriting world, and he's famous for many things, and a lot of people know him from his famous sales letter, the coat of arms sales letter, which sold somewhere in the region of about $40 million. So off the back of that sales letter, which was mailed out using traditional post, not email, not instant message, but post, and he generated over 40 million just from one sales letter. And I'm going to kick off this just to go through what the book's all about. And as I mentioned, it's actually from Gary when he was at prison. And I believe he was at prison for somewhere in the region of about 6 to 10 months. I'm not sure on the exact length. I just know that's, what happened to him. And it was of the result of something to do with selling products and not fulfilling the orders. And I believe what actually happened is that they actually had too many orders to cope with demand. And in the end, one thing led to another. And I believe in the state where he was from in America, they sent him to prison. So, he needed to think about his business structure. But the point I want to get to is that the Boron Letters are for people who are looking at cracking the copywriting code, especially if you want your marketing to actually resonate with people and convert leads into prospects and into sales. And believe you and me, it's really cool. And I'll tell you why. It's told through 25, let me just check guys, I'm sure it's 25. I want to make sure I'm absolutely right. Yeah, 25 letters. So what Gary did was, when he went into prison, he decided that what I'm going to do is write letters to my youngest son, Bond Halbert, and I'm going to show him, going to teach him the things that he needs to know about life. And as far as Gary was aware, business through his eyes as a copywriting legend. So let me just summarize some of the things that you get from the Boron Letters, guys. You get the basics of good copywriting, 5 points of good copywriting, what makes people buy. Now I know most of you, your ears will have pricked up at that one, because that's the key one. How to lead your reader by the hand. So why you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and why you must hook your reader from the moment they see your copy. And let's just jump into a few others. You get the secrets of order pulling layout, so how your letters, your sales letters should be laid out. And this might be, well, maybe you're not printing something physically. What about your web pages, or what about your opt-in pages? This is where all of this comes into hand. Exactly how to ask for an order, so the best way. and why you should write for money and not applause. And this one is something a lot of you need to take on board, why you should write for money and not applause, because at the end of the day, advertising and marketing is to get a sale. Yeah. So the next one I want to touch on is how to turn a losing catalog into a multi-million-dollar success. And then here's another point that he raises in his summary: a prison inmate's street smart survival guide. Wonder what that's all about. But it goes on, guys. Like, seriously, this book is gold, especially if you want your marketing to hit that next level of success. I'll just go through a few more and then I'm going to dive into the book. The 7 exact steps to direct mail success. How to become a student of markets. And this is something, when you get into marketing strategy, you got to know your market, you got to know your niche, and he shows you all about that. A discussion of a $156 million promotion. So yes, it was involved more than one promotion, and they did multiples of millions. I already mentioned one, the coat of arms sales letter, that did 40. Examples of winning formulas and double customization, and a good boilerplate PS that can make you money. So you know when you see the PS at the bottom of letters where you want people to see, please see? Well, they'll show you all about that. Well, Gary does in the letters. So anyway, let's dive into this, guys. So the first few chapters, they take you through some interesting points actually, and what you find is that Gary speaks to his son Bond by telling him about how he should look after himself, what he should be doing to exercise, and also what he should be eating, really looking after yourself. And not a lot of people start there. Most people get stuck into kind of the logics, the semantics, the tactics, and they don't really think about, well, who's the person that's got to create the marketing? And actually, if you're not in a good state of health, mind, physical health, then actually, are you best prepared to write the best marketing or advertising copy? Probably not, because you're going to have issues that are affecting you. And so I found it really interesting. That's where he starts. And then we get into one of the sections, I believe it's chapter 5, so letter 5. And at this point, he's teaching Bond all about list building, and he goes into how you can target lists and different type of lists, where to get lists, and then the types of numbers that you can do in these lists. So let's skip forward to chapter 6, letter 6. After that, he then goes into how you segment lists. So how you understand what it is that you're looking for in lists of buyers. So, a lot of people get mixed up, their targeting's wrong, they don't know where to start. And in this, he gives you 10 possibilities of how to break down a list. How about that, 10? I didn't even know that there were that many, but actually when you read it, it makes sense. Then in chapter 7, he takes you through list selection and targeting. So how to select your list, and then what you need to look at. And there's 3 key things I just want to touch on here. Recency, the more recently a person has purchased. Frequency, the more often a person has purchased a particular item. And then the final one is unit of sale, knowing the average sale value. So very important points when it comes to understanding your marketing. He then takes you through how to create direct mail promotions. So literally step by step, and you guys can probably just see I've got some of my highlights here. All of this very pertinent to online marketing, guys. Very powerful book. And then let's skip forward a few sections. Let's just see where we're at in this. So chapter 14. Chapter 14, he breaks down sales letters and he takes you through lumpy mail. And if you've never heard of lumpy mail, I suggest you get this book and find out more about what lumpy mail is all about. You will find it online as well, but honestly, he breaks it down and explains how you should use lumpy mail to capture people's attention. He then goes into something called AIDA, the AIDA formula, and how you use that not only in sales, which most people are familiar with, but how you use it in your direct mail marketing pieces. So how to get the attention, how to get interest, how to get desire for what you're selling, so you get the prospect's desire of what you're selling, and then finally how to compel them to take action, or whatever action is needed to get them to buy what it is you're offering. So very powerful. And finally, guys, I just want to wrap up. He takes you through some really cool copywriting conversational techniques. So you're not just writing to kind of, say your features, your benefits, but you're writing in a conversational manner that you engage people emotionally, logically, and you get people hooked. And so again, you can see, look guys, I actually use this stuff. You can probably just see some of my highlights that I've got here. And the reason why I highlight is because it's gold. I mean, he shows you how to use even transition words. So an example would be, well, as a matter of fact, I first started to talk to people about a book. So the transition word was well. Then another one is how you ask questions in your copy and then get people to answer them, but actually you did the answering. So an example would be, can you imagine? So obviously that's the question. I know it seems unbelievable, but facts are facts. So it's leading people. Another example would be, how do we get the benefits? The answer is simple. All we have to do is X, Y, and Z. So really powerful techniques that you can use, not only in your copy, but your marketing, maybe even videos, maybe your scripting, some of the things that you put out to your audience. So that's just a quick whistle-stop tour, 25 chapters, and it's actually as you can see, it's quite thin. It's very easy to read. The print is in kind of old style type. And it's done in the kind of format that it was originally sent to Bond from his father whilst in the Boron Prison Institute. But anyway, guys, I just want to say this book is a really awesome book. If I was going to grade it out of 10, I would probably give this one, and this one's off the cuff actually, because I've got my notes here and I didn't actually write down my grading, so here we go. I'm going to give this book 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty high. And the only reason being, because when he was writing this, I believe he said he was going to do 100 letters, but he got up to 25, and I'm only giving it 8.5 because I wanted to see the other 75. And I don't know what the story is why he didn't finish the other 75, but believe you and me, this is not an incomplete book. This will help you with your marketing. So it's Leon Street from Business Owner Elevation. Today I've taken you through the Boron Letters by Mr. Gary C. Halbert, a copywriting legend, guys. If you never heard of him, well, welcome to the club of now knowing who he is, and you can find out more by getting this book. And yes, it is available on Amazon, and we will put the link somewhere below this video if you're watching this on our website. So it's Leon Street. Make sure you tune in for the next episode, and then remember guys, we have lots of great content on our site. We have the podcast, so visit businessownerelevation.com, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.